not in the basement anymore.
Well, the dynamics have completely changed. Sir is no longer in the basement. He is out on the loose. And so I said earlier, he is always present without being present. You feel his presence. And so there's really a lot of cat and mouse going on, but not where you get to see the characters do their regular cat and mouse face to face. So the moments where they are face to face are very earned moments. And even if you see in the trailer, there are moments where they are connected and they're not even looking at each other, and that's also a very earned moment.
Yeah, it's pretty loaded. We start season 2, Margaret feels really betrayed. Everyone does at M&A. I think it's harder on Margaret in a lot of ways based on not to minimize anyone, I'm not trying to do that, but in terms of what Margaret's trying to work through with her guilt around losing her son and not being able to find him. We find all of these other people, but yet we cannot find my son. She takes it really hard. And we have moments, we get along so well on set that then we have to go into scenes and then I have to be so mad all the time. I'm so sorry.
It was very hard. That was actually
hard.
quite difficult to be mad at each other most of the first chapter.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
Different question.
Now that I've been locked in the basement, I really appreciate being able to go to like 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee. I just wasn't able to do that for so long. So to be able to go out, and touch grass, as they say.
Earthing.
But I mean, I played all last season that Sir was very content in the basement because he still had a connection to Gabrielle, and there was a gap of 20 years that they did not have in his mind this type of connection. He's always been around, I'm sure, but to be able to be in her presence and to work on these cases alongside her and just watch her be brilliant. It was what he did 20 years ago, it's what he's doing now, and then for the second season, again, we have this connection, it's just in a different form. And don't want to spoil anything, but it's very interesting how everyone has made this work this season. It's different than the first season, but yet very much rooted in the same type of show that we created last year.
Well, I think that the impact that the Trent, that their dynamic in general, because of Gabi's struggle, it has always been an impact there. Once he finds out the truth, I think the disappointment and that conversation comes because it has to. At that point, it just has to come out. Let's get it because we're moving on. Everything about our show is time. We gotta go. We're looking for somebody's life. So once it's not, we don't hang there. Hey, Trent, so I did this thing. It's like, I did this thing. This is how long I was doing it. Suck it up or don't. And everyone punishes Gabi, and rightfully so. She feels like she should atone for what she's done. But the Trent has a really hard time because there was that love there. But I think that because of Gabi, there was never going to be a love story between Gabi and Trent that ended with this happy ending. It's one of those, I guess I'll see you next lifetime, kind of relationships.
Trent's also in Sir's world as well,
Yeah.
so I can kind of come into, I'm not giving anything away, but I can come into contact with more people than I could in the basement.
But not just Trent, all of the characters
All of the
he's
characters.
free.
But Trent is someone that we've made clear in the first season that Sir doesn't appreciate at all. So.
Yes, I mean, that is in season 2, there's a possibility of a lot of changes, and that heightens the fear, that heightens the suspicions. I think it makes for really good drama because he could show up anytime, so we don't know.
There's a lot of wounded people on our show, like the characters. There's a lot of healing that needs to be done, and I think that Sir, being a master manipulator, can find the weaknesses in people and possibly use that to exploit.
True, find all of our Achilles heels.
So there's lots of opportunities. I think we've made that very clear that we're were very wounded on this show and very vulnerable.
I
So
never thought about that, though. You're missing child, and you told children, and how that would be even more. It's a good question. Well done.
Yeah.
she's a professional.
I know.